Welcome to My Weight Live, everybody. Tonight we are getting straight talk about weight loss from Dr. Yvonne Kangong, a weight management expert in Calgary. First, though, tell me where you're watching from and what's on your mind tonight. I am so glad you're here with us. Good evening, Dr. Kangong. I am so happy to get to speak with you tonight.
Thank you. Good evening, Ansley. I'm happy to be here today.
So you're a family physician and you're also a board-certified obesity management specialist. Tell us, why is helping people reach a healthier weight something you're passionate about?
I'm passionate about helping people reach a healthier weight because I have seen the impact of weight management in my life. And as a result of that, I want to support others along the journey. Obesity is a chronic disease and should be treated as such, just like diabetes and high blood pressure. And I want to support everyone out there who feels like they're stuck dealing with their weight and all the stigma and biases out there to be able to reach out and seek help.
So you have a book coming out soon called What's Weight Got to Do with It? And it's about your own journey with weight. What would you say is the number one thing you've learned from your own experiences and from your patients about losing weight and keeping it off?
I've learned to be patient with myself. I've learned to celebrate little wins. If it's walking 20 minutes today and tomorrow moving to 25 minutes or even 23 minutes, I've learned to celebrate that.
That's fantastic. You told us earlier that your success started with self-acceptance and loving yourself regardless of your size. Tell us more about that.
Self-love is very important. There's only one you, and there's no one out there like you. There's nothing in life that is one size fits all. You are who you are based on your genetics, based on the environment you grew up in, based on what you were taught, based on what you ate growing up. So each person is unique, and we as obesity medicine specialists treat each person that comes to us using evidence-based practices and individualized or personalized care and approach.
Okay, so much to talk with you about, Dr. Kangong, but first let's do tonight's trivia question. Folks, if you answer tonight's question, you will get an awesome guide to planning healthy dinners. This guide will help you put together a balanced meal with whatever you've got on hand, so be sure to answer tonight's question, which is, true or false, both men and women produce the hormone testosterone? Is that true or false? Do both men and women produce testosterone? Put your best guess in the comments and you will get that fantastic guide to planning healthy dinners. And folks, we do this show every month and we want you to be able to watch it live with everyone else. Text the word WAIT to 404-737-0767 and I will send you some bonus healthy recipes and also a link to the show right before it starts so you never miss an episode. Dr. Kangong, I think when many people think about reaching a healthier weight, they don't necessarily think about the tools and support their physician can provide. In fact, most people feel like weight loss is something they need to do on their own with just willpower. What would you say to someone watching at home about why they should talk to a physician, whether it's their family doctor or a specialist, about weight management?
They should talk to their primary care provider because the brain is the main part controlling weight. Forget about willpower. Let's get away from the eat less, move more movement. Those are things of the past. And it's just one of those things about the weight bias and stigma where they feel like people with obesity are lazy, right? People with obesity have poor willpower and focus on the main issue. And the main issue here is genetics and the environment. And you can change your genes. Nobody chooses which parents they come from, right? So we have to embrace it. And as a result of all that, based on the genetics and also all the hormones that we have in our system, many drugs are coming out currently to target those areas, the brain, the gut, and just to help us make the right decisions. Think of it like everything in your toolbox. Yes, there's the healthy lifestyle, which is like medical nutrition therapy. And there's also physical activity. But then there's also behavioral therapy. There's also, then there's the medication and there's the bariatric surgery. All those things in your toolbox are important. So make use of them.
And I think one thing that we heard a patient advocate, Ian Patton, say one time was, it's not like we just do diet and exercise or medical nutrition therapy and activity and that's it, or we just do medications and that's it. Often, or just do psychological interventions and that's it. Oftentimes, we're utilizing multiple treatment tools at the same time.
Exactly. Like that's why I call it a toolbox, right? It's very important to use all of them because studies have shown that lifestyle is only 3 to 5% of weight loss. Medications is around 10 to 15%. Then you move to bariatric surgery, which is about 20 to 30%. So just think of combining all of that. That would really help.
So you call yourself a transformational life coach, and just having spent a little time with you, I think that's exactly what you are. But I don't think people think of doctors as coaches. And in so many ways, that's exactly what they can be. So how is a doctor like yourself uniquely poised to help someone reach their best weight?
With all our training in medical school and also with the obesity medicine training that I did, they taught us some motivational interviewing techniques. And so transformational coaching is all about limiting beliefs. So sometimes we have some things in us that, it's ingrained in you. You grow up in your environment, and an example might be everybody in my family has obesity. Everybody in my family has diabetes. I can't win. So therefore, I'm doomed. I'm also going to have those, and I'm also going to have high blood pressure. And in order to get out of those limiting beliefs, you have to knock out those negative stock and switch it to positive ones. So now instead of saying everybody in my family have obesity, you can say, yes, I know everybody in my family have obesity. I know genetics plays a role, but I am going to seek help because I know I can do this on my own.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I think that is really important because often we do feel, oh, it's hopeless. Everyone in my family has obesity. But what I hear you saying is seeking out treatment, talking to a physician, we can write a different story.
Exactly. I like the way you put it, write a different story.
So we know that men specifically can be more hesitant to seek help for weight loss. Share with the men who might be watching tonight's show why reaching a healthier weight can have such a big impact on their health. You've talked about several things, but why is weight something men should pay attention to?
The most common thing I see with men is sleep apnea. So with that, all the chemicals are affected, and that might lead to like diabetes, obesity. And it's also been shown there's some people who might have problems with erectile dysfunction, and which might lead to infertility. So that's always a big one for men when I bring that up. And I've been lucky to have success in my practice where a man actually came up and opened up to me and was able to tell me that, I'm struggling. I've not been able to gather that courage to go see a doctor. Also with weight loss, just even if it's a 5 to 10% weight loss has been linked to about at least 58% decrease in incidence of like diabetes type 2. It also led to improved A1C levels, decreased sleep apnea, decreased things like gastritis, improvement in osteoarthritis, and also in the sleep apnea. So if you put all of that together, it's really important to try your best.
Well, one of my favorite things about doing the show and getting to interview so many wonderful physicians like yourself is I love hearing that there are so many doctors out there in Canada who care so much about people with obesity. And I think your clear compassion comes through. So my question for you is, if someone has had a bad experience with a doctor in the past, what would you tell them about all the doctors who are learning new ways to think about obesity and learning that this really isn't the person's fault? Are things changing?
Yes, I must say things are changing. People are getting interested now in obesity medicine because it's a chronic disease. It should be treated as such, just like diabetes, just as high blood pressure. So, if you had a bad experience, don't give up. We do have the Canadian obesity guidelines. You can print something off, take it to your doctor, and say, I was doing some research and I found this. Can you please help me with weight management? And I don't think there's any doctor out there who's going to tell you, no, I don't have time for you. On the contrary, they'll be happy that you care about your health and your well-being. And that's why you're coming to see them. And if they're not able to assist you, they will send you to obesity medicine specialist. So don't give up.
I love that. And I think your suggestion on printing out certain aspects of the Canadian practice guidelines for obesity is a really great one. We will link to that in the comments, folks, so you can see there are specific sections of it that are designed for regular people, not just doctors. So those are easy for you to print out and bring to your next appointment if that's something you're ready to talk to your doctor about. Folks, if you are just joining us, we're here with the wonderful Dr. Yvonne Kangong getting straight talk about long-term weight loss. And we are giving away a delicious guide to creating a healthy, balanced dinner. All you have to do is answer tonight's trivia question, which is, true or false, both men and women produce the hormone testosterone. Is that true or false? Put your best guess in the comments and you will get that fantastic guide to planning healthy dinners. Dr. Kangong, you provide really practical, healthy eating advice on your Instagram. And folks, we will link to that in the comments. It's a great source of information. And in it, you say Sunday is your day to meal prep, and you share great, inspiring pictures. So talk about why this is something you prioritize.
When you're a busy doctor, a mom, a wife, you're going to have to meal prep, or whatever profession you are. I think it's so important because it will help you make those choices at the end of the day. So what I do, I would go out, do my vegetable shopping, come home, prepare, pack them into little packs. If I have to make something like fish, I'll marinate it, keep it in the fridge. Because when I come back from work, I don't have that time to start cooking from scratch, because then I'm probably going to eat around 8 p.m. So when you do all of that, then the frontal lobe, which is the one that helps you do the decision, so you've done part of the work already because you've prepared ahead of time. So what you have to do is just go ahead and cook.
So what I hear you saying is you make it easier for yourself to make the healthy choice by thinking ahead and realizing when I get home, I'm going to be exhausted. I'm not going to feel like making a meal. So you make it as easy as possible for yourself. Talk about why cooking at home is something that can make a big difference for anyone trying to lose weight and keep it off.
Yeah, so it makes a big difference because you know what you're putting in your meals. You can control the amount of oil, the type of oil. You can control the amount of sugar or salt, or you can make the right choices. Whereas when you go out to buy food, you have no idea what is in that food. Some of them might have the calorie count and all of that, but you don't know exactly how much is in there. So that's why, to me, I prioritize that. It might take a little bit longer, but I always say to myself, health is wealth. When I feel like I'm lazing about and not making the right choices to cook, I say, Yvonne, have you thought about the price of medications? Right? Let me take that time today and eat healthy so that hopefully tomorrow I would not have chronic disease.
What I love about that is you, in that moment, choose to focus on your values and you say health is wealth. So health is something that you really value. So at a time when you're maybe lacking a little motivation, you kind of square it back to not, I want to be able to fit into a certain dress size, but you focus on, I want to feel good. I want to, as I age, feel great. I think that's wonderful.
Exactly. I'm not looking at the scale. As long as I feel better in my body and as long as I can enjoy life, because the most important thing is enjoying life. And as long as I can prevent chronic diseases, I think it's a win-win.
Dr. Kangong, what are some other healthy habits or small changes that you suggest to your patients that can make a big difference for living a healthy life?
Well, the small changes I make is, if you want to go somewhere, if you are able, if it's not too far, walk. You can start by walking even 10 minutes a day. Weight management is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Slowly wins the race. Another thing I would suggest is start introducing vegetables and fruits into your diet. I always focus on the Harvard, they have a healthy meal plate from the Harvard, which talks about half of the plate being fruits and vegetables. And then now avoiding ultra-processed food, and then use like complex carbohydrates. The other thing I'll talk about also is sleep. Average North American doesn't get enough sleep. 7 to 9 hours of sleep is really important. Sleeping doesn't make you weak. On the contrary, if you don't sleep, your hormones will be affected, and all that can lead to weight gain. Physical activities, minimum 150 minutes a week. And if you can't achieve that goal, then just start 10 minutes a day and slowly increase that.
Oh, I'm so glad you talked about all of those things because I think often, we don't think about sleep, for example, or stress management, and those have been shown to have an impact on weight. Speaking of stress management, you post about your gratitude practice on Instagram, which I love. Tell us why gratitude is something you prioritize.
Well, I prioritize gratitude because when you wake up in the morning, an example, I get a piece of paper and my gratitude journal and I just write all the good things. By the time you're done writing all the good things, you would notice that the not so good things are not that many. And the brain, when you focus on the positive, good things happen to you throughout the day. And that's why I like counting my blessings and grateful for any day, even as simple as waking up in the morning. It just puts a smile on my face. And I say, it's a new day, it's a new dawn, and good things are about to happen. And I go out with that spirit and I tell you, good things does happen. And even when even when the things are not so good, when they happen to you, you smile because you've pre-programmed your brain already in the morning that good things are about to happen.
Dr. Kangong, talk about resilience and why it's such an important skill and how you have used it on your journey with weight.
You cannot give up. First, I always say, what is your why with weight management? And not, what are you going to do about it? It's, what is the why? And the why might be as simple as, I want to be able to walk 30 minutes a day without being short of breath. It can be, I want to be there for my grandkids. So what is your why? When you focus on your why, then the what, we can support you with that.
Oh, I love that. And when you say we can support you, you're talking about seeing a physician and really getting that medical support to kind of not only help you with the lifestyle changes that we all need to be making to be healthier, but also with those treatments, whether it's cognitive behavioral therapy or medications or surgery.
Exactly. And also stress management. We cannot forget that.
Dr. Kangong, that's the end of my questions, but I do have to ask you, if there was one thing that you wanted the folks at home watching to take away, what would it be? What's the most important thing they should know?
Love yourself. Start loving yourself today. Especially for the men, I want to reach out to them. Reaching out to a healthcare professional doesn't make you weak. It's okay to be vulnerable to say, Doc, I need your support. And healthcare professionals, we are trained to help and support you on your journey, whatever it might be, to a healthier you. And if you come to me or any other healthcare professionals and we don't have the answer, we are sure to refer you where you can get all the support you need. And remember, celebrate yourself. Every little success, celebrate it. Don't be too hard on yourself.
Oh, I love it. Folks, if you've had a negative experience with a physician, physicians like Dr. Kangong are out there. Hang in there, make another appointment, see someone else. And on our physician locator tool on our website, we have tons of physicians who have those obesity medicine credentials that you will want to see. So you can find a doctor near you on our website. Dr. Kangong, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This has been such an uplifting and inspiring conversation.
Thank you for having me, Ansley. And remember to smile and have an attitude of gratitude.
Thank you to everyone watching at home. Before we go, here's the answer to tonight's trivia question. True or false, both men and women produce the hormone testosterone? The answer is true. If you didn't get to answer the question, but you'd like the guide to planning healthy dinners, then just leave a comment for us telling us what you thought of tonight's show. We will be back with you in a few weeks for a live chat on December 10th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, talking about having happy and healthy holidays. I hope you'll be able to join me then. Take care and good night.